Welcome to No Match for a Blaster, Star Wars role-playing podcast, episode 15, Quest Log Updated. I'm your host and Vice Admiral of the Death Star Mailroom, Ito Davis. As always, if you're new here, No Match for a Blaster is an actual play podcast featuring the Morality Plays crew playing the Star Wars role-playing system by Fantasy Flight Games. In a few weeks, we'll be launching a Patreon page. We'll use this to cover costs of the podcast, grow our base, and even add some cool new projects. One of those projects we're looking forward to involves releasing scripted mini-episodes about some of our more minor characters. And today, we have a preview of just that. So be sure to stay all the way to the end of this episode for a sneak peek at Spozek of the Remora. To make sure you don't miss any big updates, like when we launch Patreon, follow us on Facebook at No Match for a Blaster, or Twitter at No Match Podcast. And if you're enjoying the story so far, please consider reviewing us on iTunes. It only takes a minute, and reviews go a long way to help new listeners discover us. So now, it's time to prep those backpacks, because we're returning to the crew of the Atheon after they've just fought off the First Order on Hoban.
Previously on No Match for a Blaster. After the destruction of the Hosnian system, Hoban braced for war, and they found it. When the First Order sent a pair of advanced TIE fighters and a personnel transport bristling with stormtroopers to the moon's surface, the town of New Isley emerged to meet them in force. Though the denizens of the town faced a stalemate against the trained soldiers, tides turned when the crew of the Atheon succeeded in fighting off the outside threat. Now, they are left to wonder what happened to the refugees who escaped before the fighting began, and how they will care for the people who remain. End of Tactical Log. Moff Spozek, signing off.
You do see a readout of the ship that did crash in the middle of town?
But we were too late to do anything about it.
But they did.
Right?
But Bernice did tell you that the person is alive that was running.
Okay, we definitely need to go talk to that person before someone kills him. Okay, here's what I do. I go back down.
Yeah.
What's my deputy's name?
That was Mick.
Mick? Yeah.
Hey, Mick, get over here.
Yeah, Marshal.
Mick, I need you to figure out a way to get us up there. In the meantime, I'm gonna go talk to the person who survived that crash.
All right.
I'm assuming they're at the infirmary?
Yeah. We'll set up some kind of ladder or something. All right.
I put the bucket back on to listen in case there's any more signals on their frequency.
There's no more signals.
Okay.
And I head over to the infirmary.
Okay.
Good job, Mick. And I follow Remy.
Who is still wearing stormtrooper armor.
Yep. You guys
do you have
the bucket
I just
on?
have the bucket, apparently. Yeah.
At some point, we just have to paint it.
I'm just carrying it under my arm right now.
Is anyone in my family within range to comm?
Well, yeah, now you're back in town. You guys have the extra help of the comm relays, so you can call home and stuff.
Yeah, actually, I wanna call Mom. Beep beep beep.
Hello?
Beep beep. Mom?
Baby girl, what's up?
Mom, are you okay?
Oh, yeah, we're fine. Heard there were troopers in town.
Yeah, there were. Not anymore. We took care of the ones that we could find. I don't think there's any more right now, but there could be more coming.
You say took care of?
Yeah.
Did you kill them?
Yeah, Ma, they're dead.
Dirty Imperials?
There may be more coming back.
What?
Is everybody okay? Was anybody in town when this happened? Shifty Pete didn't come to town, did he?
Oh, no. Shifty Pete's not allowed anywhere near town. Most of the family, they took that deputizing pretty seriously, and they've been going around the countryside trying to clean up the sandstorm wherever they are.
All right, well, that's something. Less the sandstorm. Right now, we're just trying to figure out what they were after. I kind of think they just wanted the planet without any pesky nerf herders on it.
That does sound like Imperials.
Yeah,
Hoban has been ridden by asshole. Dang it. By
Sith Spit? Sith Spit's a good one. Sons of blasters.
Bantha Voodoo? That's fun.
Hoban's been plagued by Sith spit. People trying to always rule this place had no real right on it.
But what are we supposed to do about it? Their gear is pretty good.
It's not about gear, baby girl. It's about heart, and we're not giving up this moon for nobody. You hear a gun cock in the background. You don't know why a gun would cock.
Did Mom get a slug thrower when I wasn't looking? Okay, I'm not sure. We're trying to get up to their personnel carrier now to see if we can get up there, if we can find out any more about them, and I guess also have a personnel carrier. Right now, at least the fighting's over for the moment.
All right, well, be safe.
Yeah, you too. Tell us if you see anything, first ordery.
Okay.
All right. Love you, Mom.
Love you, baby.
And hang up.
I'm gonna be really sad when we leave this moon, and I can't, because I can just go into a bad Southern accent. That's fine. The second I would have to do roll into a bad British accent, I'll be screwed.
Yeah, you gotta start practicing it.
That'll polish up your skills.
Yep. So Remy goes to interrogate the survivor.
Interrogate?
Cassie follows Remy.
Air quotes on survivor.
Oh my god! Okay.
Hey. Interrogate has a lot of different definitions. It really is only just asking questions.
I need to know what's going on.
Okay.
Seriously.
You somehow when you're wearing trooper armor, you can only walk like there's a giant stick up your butt. So you walk in very straight backed, and everyone's like a little freaked out. There's a few wounded people and stuff like that, and everything gets dead quiet when you walk in there. Even though the bucket's off.
Okay, it's just quiet. Okay, that's fine.
There's cots everywhere. There's like one or two people with like white coats on walking. There's a nurse. Da 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 da.
Hey Simon, how's the doctoring going today?
Oh, okay. Oh, is it the marshal? Marshal, what? Why are you wearing that?
Yeah.
Long story, Simon. I need to talk to the guy who crashed in town, or girl. Nobody actually has told me anything about him yet. I need to talk to that person. Where are they at?
It's over there, behind the curtain. I gave this person a good Star Wars name last episode, and I've forgotten it.
Right. Tell your sister I said hi.
Remy goes over and starts to reach for the curtain and step around, and then he remembers that he's in the stormtrooper armor and thinks better of it.
Yeah.
And he says, may I come in? This is Marshal Remy Drobash.
Yeah, you can come in. It's fine.
Long story short, I've commandeered some stormtrooper armor, so don't be alarmed. And then he steps in.
Ah! Oh, God! Why are you wearing that?
He just told you not to be alarmed.
Okay, well, his, arm is in a sling. He has, a bandage over his right eye. He's not wearing a shirt or anything, but you see, blaster scorch marks in his skin. He looks rough, and he looks kind of traumatized. Oh my God, are you the law around here?
Yeah. And I can tell you, I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb by your reaction and say that you were trying to run from the First Order.
Yeah. Hold on, I forgot the name of the ship.
You know what? This sounds like a long story. And he pulls up a chair, and he kind of sits down and leans back and says, why don't you just start from the beginning?
Part of the galley crew on the marathon. We only got about 8 hours into our first jump, and when we came out at the hyperspace junction, they were waiting for us. Massive, giant ship, bigger than the ones I even remember from the war.
The First Order. They were waiting for you.
Yeah, it was bad. They boarded us before we knew what was going to happen. We didn't have time to fire up the hyperdrive before they disabled our engines. We tried to, every single person that could grab anything that shot or was pointy. We tried our best, but they came over us so quick. They were waiting for us. I was barely able to get out. There were a dozen of us on the lower levels that could get to the smaller ships in the hangar bay, and we made a break for it. I think I'm the only one that was able to get out of there in one piece. I only had the jump coordinates back here.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, there was just colonists, just some, settlers and stuff. Why would they attack a transport?
I don't know how the First Order works. It's destruction, the kill. They only hit our engines, and the Marathon doesn't have many weapons as it is. They boarded us. I think they're taking the people. I don't think it was just about killing everybody, but they could have.
Well, that totally goes against everything we've discovered, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the troopers that were sent here doesn't, from what we've gathered, it doesn't seem like they were interested in taking any hostages. No prisoners.
They weren't interested in taking prisoners of what was left of the Marathon crew either.
No, other way around.
What do you mean?
They weren't trying to just, they could have, but they weren't just trying to straight out kill people in the Marathon. They killed they destroyed the engines and the weapons.
Oh, one wonders what they were looking for on the Marathon then, huh?
My thoughts exactly. Or maybe who.
Yeah.
But if they took all the passengers...
Do we have that information?
Something tells me it's...
He said they couldn't fight back, and they weren't using lethal force, and it felt like that they were, trying to, wrangle people together, and then he got out. It could, you can think of it either they're looking for someone specific or they're capturing everyone. You're not really sure.
Well, that sounds awful. I'm so sorry you had to go through that.
I mean, I got out. We need to do something about. Is there anyone we can even? They blew up so many planets. This is. There's no hope for all this. We just gotta go. We gotta run. My ship, it's damaged. We gotta. Is there a way to get off this moon?
That's kind of on hold at the moment. The engines don't work from our ship.
Among other things.
We gotta do something.
Well, yeah, it's a little leaky, and their pressure doesn't work, and the beds are probably pretty lumpy.
We need a new windshield.
Oh yeah, the new windshield. So yeah, it needs just a little bit of work. Gonna need a day or two.
This person's looking really worn out. You can probably get one more thing out of him if you want.
I can't think of anything. Do you happen to know maybe where they went? Or anything else you could tell us?
The shots they hit us with, there's no way the Marathon's doing a jump right now. The ship that they hit us with was massive. It was bigger than the Star Destroyers I remember from back during the war. But even with that, the Marathon's dead in the water. If they moved them all there and they are able to jump, I have no idea where they could go. I just peel space tubers.
Who doesn't like a good space potato?
All right. If you think of anything else, let us know. All right. With that, Remy gets up and walks out. Yeah, and we'll probably never see this character again.
That's also true.
Because I killed him. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. So Remy will. How close is the infirmary to his office?
It's a bit, maybe a block and a half.
Okay, he's gonna head back to the office. Start making some calls. Is Cassie going with him? Or, you know what?
So far.
He's gonna ask Cassie. Cassie, what do you need to get this ship up and running?
A whole repair dock, several months, an 18-person repair crew. I don't know.
I was hoping
Sheriff.
you would.
It's not going to be easy.
Yeah, I was hoping you would say something a little quicker than that. But that's okay. We'll make do.
Yeah, we're going to need a wrecker to come get it.
I think I have an idea. Screen swipe and be at the office. Remy would like to try... You know what? I'm starting to get develop a little plan here. Okay, what if... And you know what? This could be happening back at the office. I'm assuming Cassie went with him because I don't know what else we could do right now. He told her there was cash.
Kamaya was kind of standing outside of the infirmary, so she stayed out of the building. And
I assumed you stayed at the apartment building.
Well,
I don't know why I thought you stayed there.
And she was on the comms with her mom at the time. So if you pick her up, she will go there. It sounds like our conversations were roughly the same. If you come out and are like, "Hey, we're going this way," she'll be able to follow. But
I feel like that's the kind of thing I would do. Hey, come on.
She'll see you and kind of nod. All right, love you, Mom, and then follows you. Bucket back on head just in case. We potentially could find materials. Right now, the big thing might just be there's a personnel carrier up on that roof.
Exactly.
And we jack that, yeah.
And I know somebody who would probably be interested in having that.
I'd
rather have that than the parts fix our ship.
Is that somebody besides us?
Yep.
Okay, who do you want to give that to? Because we don't have another way off planet right now.
I got a message that I need to talk to a New Republic agent in the Detrius sector at a space station. I have a feeling they'd be more than willing to trade us the parts to fix our ship for this personnel carrier.
Does seem like it would have a lot of intel on it.
If you've got a better idea, I'm all ears.
I don't know. What are we supposed to do with this? Like, yeah, we can get stuff to fix our ship, but that still means that they'll be coming back. If we're fixing this ship, then we need more weapon systems to actually be able to fight if they do come back. And we'll need reinforcements, too. Just us by ourselves, I don't know what they're going to be coming back with.
Well, wouldn't the New Republic be the people that we would ask for reinforcements from?
They would.
So
if they've got them to give after what happens to the Bosnian system.
It seems like a good faith effort to bring him the shuttle. And
not only that, they may know some stuff we don't know, and I'm sure they'd be interested to find out what Nala told us.
Okay, yeah, it's a plan. I don't have anything better.
No.
All right. Now all we got to figure out is how to get on top of that building.
I think Mick's getting a ladder.
We've got fire lifts. We've got plenty of repulsor lift vehicles. There should be a billion ways to get up there.
There's a star scissor lift that'll do it. They just had to go get it.
Or we could go low tech and use a star scissors lift. Sure.
I mean, I think it's a pretty good plan. I don't know what else we could do.
I like it.
I'm curious as to how similar it is to what you expected us to do.
None.
None
Good.
at all. Got it. Cool.
Brilliant.
It's what I had in mind to a degree a few weeks ago.
If we're not throwing you a curveball, we're not player characters.
They've set up kind of a lift to go up to the roof of the other place.
Well, we stopped by the ship so I can rearm myself and get all my tools. And
we get all our regular stuff. And do we want to take the Stormtrooper armor, or we want to leave it here?
I've got some lockers you can leave them in so they'll be secure.
I get my own rifle back.
Yeah, we go wake up Old Man Anderson, the farmer.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
And bring him to the infirmary.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That goat farmer, he's passed
still.
out. He's had enough, star Valium. He's going to be asleep for a day or two.
We want to give them... we want to take one of these shields?
Yeah, we should take their shields.
Yes?
So I'm just thinking, anything else we want to take to...
Well, I'm kind of at maximum
kind of sweeten the
encumbrance.
deal for him a little bit.
So, well, if you want to bring the
That's
rifles...
true. If we can bring the stuff that we took from the stormtroopers and use it as an extra bargaining chip. That can't hurt.
Maybe like a couple rifles, one of the rocket launchers, and one of the shields.
Well, why don't we just put everything that we got on board, and then...
Yeah, let's just take all of the stuff that we got. Well, I would be okay with leaving, like, a rocket launcher or something like that, leaving a couple things here for people to defend with.
Okay, so we're going to give a rocket launcher to, like, the locals.
To Mick, obviously, right?
Yeah. And do you guys want the spare ammo pouches?
Those go to the heavy blaster rifles.
Okay. Oh, they're specific to that? These are pretty generic, like, items if you buy them in the old way.
Yeah.
I'm carrying the back patches, if that's okay, just to track them.
If you remember, these are eye blasters, so they have their own type of power.
Oh, that's right. The connection is just...
You have to plug it into the lightning port, which is a different... You can use the older ones, but it was a port that cost about $35.
That stove Jorbs, he knows what he's doing.
No.
He's a hut. He's the thinnest hut you'll ever meet, though.
Hut with a turtleneck?
Yeah.
Sure, why don't we leave 2 and take 2?
Okay.
All right.
There we go.
2 are coming off our inventory. Boom.
Also, you're going to be leaving your ship for a little while. There's some stuff that you have on your ship, which you may or may not want to have with you when you go do stuff.
Well, we found that computer thing.
Yeah, there's the computer that interfaces with the wing.
What else did we have?
You have 3 corpses.
That's true.
Yeah, those can go to the morgue.
You have a pretty desiccated corpse in roby clothing.
He meant the ones that we got from the...
Oh, I thought...
place.
Yeah, we need to sort that out.
You have a I'm not going to say it's a Mandalorian tuna can full of squishy bits, but there's that, and then there's that skeleton with all the modifications on it. But do you want to take that stuff with you or not?
Let's go through it real quick, because, I mean, we're about to jump systems. We can take a little time to get our stuff in order.
Yeah, there's a suit. There's a suit of armor. Hoban's been host to a lot of wars. So they might be able to recognize, be like, oh, that's really old school Mando, like really old. That's ancient Mando armor. There's a skeleton with like bright gleaming cyber parts on it. You guys have not seen cybernetic, because cybernetic parts are not a big part of the Empire, really, and no one on Hoban has ever really had cybernetic parts for the most part. So that person doesn't really know what these do. You could do, like, look into it later with somebody who knows a bit about cybernetic bits. And there's the falling apart.
Yeah, what does that remains have on it?
So there is a belt that looks like it's supposed to be leather, but it can't be leather the way it looks perfectly pristine. The clothes on it, like, even you moving, like, it was already barely a wisp of what was clothing, but it's all pretty much gone now, and it's, like, translucent to the point where you had no idea what the colors or make or anything of the cloak of the robes could have been. There's some, like, little tools, like maybe a slicing kit, as well as in one of the bigger hip pockets that would go on the belt, there is a cube about the size, a little chunkier than a Rubik's Cube, but has, on each face, has a recessed kind of circle cut into it. Like, it looks incredibly, like, pitch black.
The big question, is it a holocron or a datacron?
You don't know.
Holocrons are dark side Sith stuff.
Yeah.
Datacrons are Jedi stuff. But I'm going to call it a holocron for now, because...
Yeah. To you, this is a Commodore 64 of box. That's all you know. It's
a puzzle box.
It's a Rubik's Cube. Kamaya will come over to Cassie and be like, okay, so, Force user. That's a thing.
Apparently. I mean, I haven't talked about the Jedi, but, they're just stories.
Is this the kind of thing we're telling people? Should this be...
this probably shouldn't be the kind of thing we're telling people.
Yeah, I just wanted to get that clear. And we need to get you to the Resistance.
Yeah.
No? You don't want to help the resistance? Did you see even what happened today?
If we're going to go talk to them. I don't want to be, like, recruited. I'm not signing up to fight their war.
What do you mean fight their war? This is our war. It's all of our war.
Yeah, but our war is happening here on Hoban.
Our war is happening everywhere. It's not only happening on Hoban. What affects everyone else is going to affect us. If we don't stop them from taking over everywhere, eventually they're going to get to here, even if we stay here and try to fight.
Well, we protect Hoban first.
You do what you want, but if we find them, I'm going to help them, whether you do or not. I can't stay here if I can be used somewhere else. That's going to help keep everyone safe.
Just like your mom. I know.
There's a lot of people out there.
I know, we need to go. We do. I'm going. I don't know what any of this means, and...
I guess we're going to have to figure it out as we go along.
Yeah.
Marshall, what do you think?
About what?
The resistance? If they ask us for help and pulls us away from Hoban, would you do it?
Well, we're going to them asking for help, aren't we? I mean, let's face it. If it's just us three, and the First Order decides to come and attack here, we're not going to be much use here, and neither is anybody else here.
You two are pretty badass.
Not against a fleet. This was just a few stormtroopers, and honestly, I am still in shock that we managed to beat that many, just the few of us. Look, we got lucky.
Let's go talk to these people, right?
Yeah, let's just go see what they have to say, and maybe we can come to some kind of mutually beneficial agreement.
I damn sure hope so.
The Mando armor we may or may not take, depending on whether, like, how good it is. Somebody may want it. The cyberware will stay here. The holocron I'm taking with me, personally. Mm-hmm. And the slicing kit I'll probably shove in my tool belt as well. So.
I mean, we could take all that stuff with us, if you're worried about it or something, And who knows what kind of, like, agreement/mission assignment that they're going to give to us, so it may not be a bad idea to just go ahead and take it all with us, and then we'll have it if we want it.
And we will take the old-timey computer with that has all the Stygian information.
Okay.
So I guess we're taking everything.
Okay.
Taking all the things.
All the things. Repair kits, and back patches, and slicing kits.
Cut to the scene. You guys are on top of the roof. You're having a few people help you move stuff onto the transport. It's not full, but it's definitely not empty anymore with the stuff you guys are kind of bringing. Yeah, you guys are standing on the blaster-ridden hatch.
I'm sure Mom's there, and we probably have, like, cousins and stuff.
Yeah.
And my dad's there. Yeah, my dad's around.
Cassie gives her mom a big hug. They've clearly been talking about stuff, possibly having to do with the Force.
Yeah, are you keeping that a smaller secret between just very few people?
Yes, please. So she did tell her mom.
Yep.
But she did say, please don't talk about it to other people.
Yeah.
Not really telling anyone. We're definitely not telling Mick.
You know Mick, he'll tell everybody in town.
Right? He tells everyone.
So yeah, I'll go, give hugs to Mom and Dad. Any advice for getting these people to listen to us? She asks of her parents who used to be in the rebellion.
Never trust anyone that doesn't have any dirt on them. If it's an officer, half of it's just going to be steam anyway. Don't worry about it. And if you see a Skywalker, either get behind him or run the other way.
Skywalker. Okay.
Is that you writing it down?
Yep.
Okay. I'm sure I've heard lots of stories about the Skywalkers and such, right?
Oh, yeah.
Do we know about...
Must be a legend. At least Luke must be.
At the moment... Well, Luke is a legend, isn't he?
Yeah. Like, even if we don't know about Leia's relation, Luke has to be a total legend.
Yeah, alright. I'll take note of that in case we run into Luke Skywalker randomly.
Yeah, you guys are ready to lift off. The landing gear is still busted, but it just means that, whenever you do land somewhere, I'm going to make you do a pilot check to make sure that you don't roll over and explode. The carrier starts to lift off, starts to reach up into the sky. You start to be able to see the curvature of the moon. Things get smaller in your rear view star mirror, and all of a sudden there's just black in front of you as the lights start to twinkle of the stars.
Cool. I've never been this high.
Maya breathes deep. It's my favorite part.
Thanks for listening. To make sure you don't miss any big updates, follow us on Facebook under No Match for a Blaster, or on Twitter at No Match Podcast. If you enjoyed our show, please leave us a review on iTunes. No Match for a Blaster is a podcast by Morality Plays. Star Wars Edge of Empire, Age of Rebellion, and Force and Destiny are made by Fantasy Flight Games and Lucas Books. Our theme is by Kevin McLeod. Sound effects by Tristan Longren, Vindus, and Akmov. And I would like to thank the very best players I could ever hope for. Brandon playing Remy Drobash, Claire playing Cassie Saris, and Bobby playing Kamaya Saris. And of course I'd like to thank you, our listeners. As we mentioned, soon we'll be launching our Patreon. We have some great rewards lined up, including early access to all of our content, and the chance to name your own NPC. And, as for goals, now it's time for the sneak preview of Spozek of the Remora.
And how they will care for the people who remain. End of tactical log. Moff Spozek, signing off.
Moff Spozek, I have those reports you asked of me. If now is a good time.
General Aquin, right on time, good. What do you have for me?
Troubling news, I'm afraid. It seems the First Order has been bolder than expected concerning Project Myrmidons. Project Myrmidons is, of course, the first...
Yes, I'm well aware of the purpose of the project. Details, General. How has it progressed?
Quickly. The First Order continues to hit Imperial military installations. Already, they have tapped the locations we suspected in the Tokamek and Majol sectors, as well as some we did not. Baroli, for example, as well as Hoban. The star cluster Dramia has also pinged on the radar, so to speak.
Dramia. But why... yes, of course. Continue.
Of course.
Rather obvious now that I think of it. Tell me, what do your spies make of the First Order's recent strikes against colony vessels?
My agents have strong evidence that the First Order has found what they are looking for. All signs point to the continued rise in the face of the Republic and the Resistance, which are crippled. In our current state, the Empire can do little to halt such momentum. I suggest we consolidate our power and retreat within our sector until the proverbial dust settles on this conflict. That will give us more time to assess the First Order's structure and find a weakness within their defenses.
Funny. I do not remember asking for your opinion on the matter.
Apologies, Mom. I just thought, with our current...
You just thought that you understood anything about my plans and were therefore qualified to offer advice on them. In the future, you will reserve your advice for when I ask it, and you will use my title when you speak to me.
I thought the fate of the Empire was in the balance, and advised accordingly to preserve it. Considering your actions in Dasun, one would think you would have an interest in doing the same, Moff.
The Empire is not so fragile as you believe, Aquin. A retreat will not be necessary. Pull agents 427 and 379 from Coruscant. Leave evidence of their involvement as spies and assassins for the First Order. Place them instead on Nemia.
427 and 379 are each on incredibly delicate intelligence-gathering operations. They've infiltrated the highest ranks of trade relations. To pull them now would derail the entire enterprise.
Indeed. Chaos in the planet's high market. Investigations ensue. Where two high-ranking officials spies. Could any other foreigners be in league with outsiders?
Coruscant is already isolating itself from the rest of the galaxy. If we incite panic, it will be even more difficult to replace those agents.
We need not worry so about replacing them. The other agent we have already on the planet will do perfectly for our purposes. An isolated Coruscant, however, is exactly what we need. A political powerhouse, a center for trade, disconnected from its allies. Already, the isolationists gain favor in the Planetary Senate. All they need is an incentive, say, evidence of tampering from a foreign power, and they will have the ammunition to cut Coruscant itself away from the remnants of the Republic. Without Coruscant, the entire galaxy weakens.
Giving us the opportunity to step in. If the First Order wants to annex Coruscant, it would have to expend even more resources to do so. Their attention would be divided.
Precisely.
Cathar, that's brilliant. Moff.
Not everything must be achieved by direct force.
But why Nimia? We already have people in good standing with the Hutts in Nal Hutta. Some nothing planet on the edge of Hutt space is hardly worth our time.
That isn't your concern. You just let me worry about Nimia.
Yes, Moff. They did tell me your methods were unorthodox.
They did they? What else did they tell you?
May I speak freely, Moff?
You may. I would know my reputation.
They say that you scorn tradition, except for when it is useful to you. They say that the circumstances of your recent promotion were unusual, that your actions caused the former Moff's disgrace and ultimate execution.
Tion's disgrace was his disloyalty to the Empire. It is a pity. I liked him.
They also say that though you are excellent with intelligence gathering, you lack tactical expertise and neglect the basic defense in favor of long-term goals.
A good leader uses direct conflict only when absolutely necessary. But should conflict become inevitable, I will rely on your tactical advice to see that the Empire prevails.
It would be my honor, Moff.
I think it would.
If I may, Moff Spozek, what is our heading?
Instruct our pilot to head for the Outer Rim. The Remora is paying a visit to Dromia. Dismissed.